The Israeli government, in defiance of the international community, is set to formally annex Palestinian land military occupied since 1967. This annexation plan is part of Trump and Netanyahu's so-called deal of the century and would lead to the formal expropriation of over 30% of the West Bank.
The area under this plan includes 300,000 Palestinian residents from 29 different Palestinian communities. These families face continued dispossession of their resources by illegal Israeli settlements and military outposts that surround them. The military outposts exist to enforce the systematic theft of Palestinian land and resources for the purpose of developing and supporting 30 Jewish-only settlements.
For the last several decades, Israel has maintained a brutal military occupation that continues to displace Palestinians from our land. With Trump in office, the attack on Palestine has only continued with
the ongoing construction of Jewish-only settlements,
the U.S. Embassy move to Jerusalem,
the defunding of UNRWA,
and the announcement of the universally rejected deal of the century.
These are all attempts to stifle Palestinian right of return to our land while continuing Israeli military domination of Palestine.
We recognize the latest plans for Israeli annexation as a continuation of decades-long Zionist expansion, war, and oppression of the Palestinian people.
Israeli annexation means 1. Continued expropriation of natural resources which divert over 80% of Palestinian land and water resources to illegal Israeli settlements. 2. Fragmentation and geographical separation of Palestinian communities and livelihoods. And 3. Giving Israel full control over land which rightfully belongs to Palestinians.
These new developments require us to renew our commitment to seeing our people free. We call on all levels of Palestinian society to escalate and intensify our efforts towards national liberation. We must unite around the principles of justice and freedom that are the foundation of our struggle for the liberation of Palestine.
As Palestinians in the U.S., we demand the United States government and its material support and diplomatic cover for Israeli colonialism and occupation, including all military aid.
Our people uniformly demand the right of return for Palestinian refugees and their descendants to the homes and villages from which they were displaced, an end to apartheid and Jewish-only settlement projects in all our lands, the immediate end to the occupation and the brutal measures which subjugate our people and our struggle for liberation, lifting the blockade on the Gaza Strip, which make conditions unlivable for our people there, and the immediate release of all Palestinian political prisoners.
From the Jordan River to the Mediterranean Sea, we reject Israel's theft of our land and ethnic cleansing of our people. Annexation is not a momentary or singular act. It is a continuation of Israel's attempt to deny Palestinian self-determination.
But our people will continue to resist until the land that is rightfully ours belongs to us once more, and until we've realized our right to return.